Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/Tales from Retail. Stories about your bosses, employees, or those strange customers you see daily. And our first story: the best return case I ever processed. Let me know if this is the wrong place for this, as it's about an email. So I work for a power tool retailer. We deal with people in person and online. Tools often break down due to misuse or a manufacturing defect. A lot of people get very angry before even speaking to us, assuming they're going to have to fight to get a return processed. One day a few years ago, I received the best email I have ever received from a customer with a faulty drill. Hello. Thanks for a prompt delivery of my new Metabo BE75-1675NM compact high-torque rotary drill 240 volt. Very efficient. Upon its arrival, I took it in my hands and felt an overwhelming sense of power and inflated sense of self-worth. Of course, I immediately attached its second handle and reenacted the moment where French and British engineers were finally united after years of drilling the Channel Tunnel, imagining that it was at a final turn of my new Metabo that we could give thanks to a new age of underwater travel. Excitedly, I took this unyielding and robust piece of German manufacturing to work with me the next day. I happened to be creating a 7-meter lizard out of timber and place name, as one does. My mighty Metabo was purchased to bore 3 25mm wide holes in order to affix the lizard's tail to its body. Essential work, as all lizards need tails. Otherwise, they lose their balance and fall over. Imagine my delight at wielding such a godlike piece of equipment with a 25mm wide auger attached in public. I felt like I imagined Arnold Schwarzenegger used to when he'd flex his muscles in public covered in oil. Before he became a bit more saggy and old, the first hole drilled well. Flashes of Channel Tunnel imagery came flooding back. However, midway through the second hole drilling, I encountered issues. The drill failed to continue forward into the wood. I ceased forward motion and waited for the drill to stop turning. I put in a reverse direction mode and attempted to retract the drill from the hole to see what the problem was. What followed next was a noise which I can only describe as some sort of intense and evil siren of pain, like 1,000 mice being collectively set on fire as the auger tried to return from the timber. Before I could stop the drill, I heard a crack and the drill easily came away from the piece of timber. Unfortunately, the chuck was still attached to the auger, and the auger was still in the piece of timber. Basically, the drill had snapped. This is not the kind of performance I had expected from my Metabo, and certainly not the performance that was advertised. At 25mm, I was only asking the drill to bore at half the width of the advertised maximum in wood. I request a replacement, please, or for it to at least be fixed. Please, could you advise my uninitiated self the proper procedure for this? With love. Genuinely made my day. Rather than going on a rant, they made me laugh, and I couldn't wait to help them. The with love really ties the whole thing together. And our next story: the coupon stack from hell that even extreme couponers would frown upon. I was 18, working my first big girl job at your favorite, very red retail store. I started in photo, but that went belly up about 3 months in. Surprisingly, I was offered a management position in guest service/front lanes, but it meant I got 25 cents an hour more to do the same thing the big guys do for half the pay. But whatever, I liked my job and was pretty good at it. The cast: me, new kinda manager; Kelly, new cashier; Paula, extreme middle-aged couponer gone rogue. I was in the office that had a one-way mirror type window doing paperwork. The lane in front of the window had our new hire, Kelly. She was there for this exact reason. I look up from my work to check on her now and then. I see Kelly looking back and forth, kind of panicked, and I calmly walked out to see a metric F-ton of coupons stacked in front of her. Kelly tried to scan each one, some working, others not. Paula flips out each time one doesn't scan, screaming at this poor girl. Just scan it right! I'm sorry, ma'am, it's expired, it won't scan. I'm sure there's some sort of override, just do it. No, ma'am, I honestly can't, it won't let me. Me: it's okay, Kelly, I'll take over. Ma'am, this is a large stack of coupons you have. The ones she can't scan are expired and are manufacturer's coupons. There's genuinely nothing we can do with them, or they're ours, but they don't apply to your items. I'm pretty sure you're lying. I have places to be. What about the rest? Mind you, this is like 25 plus coupons at least. Me, looking through the massive pile, sorting expired and irrelevant coupons. Okay, ma'am, you have 3 valid coupons left. It brings your total to XXX dollars. You've got to be kidding. I double-checked each of these coupons. Me, gesturing to both piles I made while sorting. These are expired. Many by quite a while. This other pile are ones that don't apply to any of your items. I know it's frustrating, but I have to follow policy, not just for the store, but for the manufacturers. I'm pretty sure you know what she said. Me, ma'am, I am a manager. That's why I came out here to sort this. I don't believe you. You're just a kid. Get me the real manager. Me, gesturing to my name badge. I am indeed the manager of the front end. She doesn't know what her acronyms for managers are, and I don't want to be rude, but we cannot accept these coupons. I have to throw the expired ones out, but you can keep the others in case they apply to other future items. Fine, just let me pay so I can leave and keep your coupons. I'm never shopping here again. Oh, darn it. I finished the transaction, trashed the mountain of coupons, and turned to my newbie. Me. This doesn't happen often. Half truth, but I don't want to spook her. But if you ever feel sketchy about something like this or anything else, flip your light on and stall them. I'll run right over, okay? Kelly nodded and I gave her a quick side hug, then a thumbs up. I believe she stayed there till the place closed down. Great gal. Of course, her threat of never coming back again was a lie. I saw Paula several times after, but never had to put her in her place again. She apparently followed the rules after an 18-year-old told her about herself. To clarify a few things, they got rid of the whole photo department altogether, in my store at least. I think some still have them, but mine closed completely a couple years ago anyway, so it just wasn't doing well because not a lot of people in 08 were getting film developed, but they liked my work ethic and people skills, so instead of letting me go or moving me to cashier, they moved me up. Again, it was like barely a promotion technically. I was an assistant manager, basically. I made like $8-ish an hour, but don't think that means they didn't overwork me or task me with things above my pay grade like this, because they absolutely did, let me tell you. I don't care if you're on lunch, you should have been helping us. So I work at a store in a very busy mall. The way that our store is set up is weird, because if you're waiting in line and someone needs to go into the stockroom or staff room, you can very well see the inside. Anyways, yesterday our store was unbelievably busy. We just launched our holiday items and had a sale, yada yada yada. I was working my usual 8 hours, and as always, my lunch kept getting pushed back. Whatever, that's life in retail. I finally get to go on my lunch and zoom into the staff room because customers were hounding us left and right. So I'm sitting in our crowded stock/staff room, and I'm sitting down enjoying my lunch, browsing on my phone. The stock person holds the door open as he's bringing in a bunch of boxes, etc. The lineup is huge, and everyone in line looks at me, sitting on my phone, eating food. It felt awkward, but it's inevitable. That's how the room is constructed. My manager comes in a few minutes after the door closes and asks if I'm almost done with my lunch. I tell her I have a few minutes left. She goes, okay. It's really crazy out there. People saw you sitting and got mad at us. I was like, okay. That seriously isn't my problem, as I'm on my lunch. You're the manager. If there's a problem like that, you can deal with it. My lunch ends, I get my uniform back on and head onto the floor. Unbeknownst to me, the next person in line was the person that was making the biggest stink about how long the line was and saw me sitting in the staff room. She was an older woman with her husband and teen daughter, probably a few years younger than myself. Me, how can I help you today? Lady, can I give you some constructive criticism? Next time there's a lineup and there's people lining up out the door at your store, you should be on the floor instead of in the back on your phone. We've been waiting in line for almost 10 minutes. Me, I'm really sorry, miss, but I was on my lunch break. Lady, I'm not saying that you don't deserve a lunch break. I am just telling you that it's very unprofessional to sit down while there's a lineup outside. We could have been out of here so much faster if you did. Me, if I was on the clock, I would have, but as I already said, I was on my lunch break. I was not technically working. I'm sorry about the wait. Do you want to speak to a manager? Lady, no, I just wanted to let you know for the next time. The transaction goes on as normal after that, and I'm just so angry. I usually have a pretty high tolerance, but for someone to be mad at me for something that was out of my control was just awful. I hope this is my last holiday season working retail. I already can't handle it. I'm not saying you don't deserve a lunch break, but I just had to wait 10 minutes because you needed to eat and have a break, and that's just unacceptable. Typical Karen. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And see you soon.